Welcome, everybody, to this Saturday Live where I have a guest. We're going to be talking about social media, the kind of posts that you should be posting, or suggestions, more like that, and just talking about what we're seeing on the online space. My guest is an online marketing professional whose experience is centered in social media marketing, content marketing, creation, storytelling, community building, management. She basically knows all things marketing and how to sell socially online. And it's such an honor to have her. Her name is Natasha Giannapoulou. I hope I said it right. And I'm so excited to have you on here today. So
Hi.
let me ask you this hard question. What's your favorite color?
Ooh, it's actually purple. Purple is my favorite color, yes.
Hey, everybody who's joining in,
Hi.
Arifer. I hope I said your name right. And Florence. You know what,
Hi,
guys?
Florence.
Thank you so much for joining in. And if you can let us know what is something that you're doing this weekend, drop it in the comments. We'll share it. So, besides this live right here, hello, I am also going to be hanging out and just, I don't know, do something on a Saturday, like really I think we don't do this enough, and that is to step away from social media. And I kind of want to start there just because we will get into your story, but what is what because we both are so into social media. This is our life. We teach people, we're helping people, but what helps you to step away from all of it for just a moment?
Well, priorities. Priorities. I mean, nothing is more important than your health, than spending time with your loved ones and your friends and keeping a balance. It's everything is about balance and knowing that social media is what we do, not who we are. And keep the balance, keep it going.
Right. Yes, I love it, Bob. You're visiting family. That's a great way to spend your weekend. Okay. Now that we know a little bit on the other side of Natasha, let's really get to know her. So, how did you get introduced to marketing and then digital marketing and then everything that you know?
Well, I started in 2000 in an internet services company, and one of the things I was a general manager's assistant, but I was given many opportunities, and I understood because it was internet services. I was put forth in the part of marketing also in order to help them out, and I understood that there was something there for me, a little click inside me, and I really liked the side of being the solution that people were looking for, right? But being a psychology major myself, the yeah, I looked at it more as how do you present your brand? How do you present all of that in a way and in a language that your audience will understand? And it all comes back to understanding them first. So when you put both together, you get the ultimate outcome. Fast forward to 2004, I started working as an online marketing manager in a software development company. And that's where it simply sealed the deal for me because it married together both things, marketing and online. And again, fast forward a little bit more, and in 2007, 2008 is when social media came to grace us with its presence. And it was a different approach of communication, a different way of getting through to your audience and reaching out and communicating and building your community. And since then, I haven't stopped. It's been social media marketing all the way through, and now I do it for myself as a freelancer. I mean, and I think that it's not only here to stay. it's the way to market your brand and you market your products and your services. It's the best.
So I want to rewind and say how many people, if you're watching right now live or replay, how many of you are really thinking about that voice, that language to communicate with your potential client, ideal client profile? Ideal client, who, however you call that person that you're talking to. Because if you think about it, when we get online, we're like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to post this picture and I'm so cute and I got like a million likes. But then you're not, or if you're a business owner, you're thinking, okay, I know I want to sell this product and I want to sell it to somebody, but I don't know who that somebody is. I'm going to try to figure it out. I would love to know if you could drop a heart if you knew when you first started on posting on any social media platform who your audience was, what languages, yes, maybe English or whatever, but really if you think about it, if I'm talking to doctors and lawyers, it's going to sound different. The copy's going to look a little bit different if I'm talking to a solo entrepreneur who is doing everything. And then this other individual may have a team or they want you to just take care of everything. So I'd love to know, just drop a heart if you knew. If you knew, drop that heart. If you didn't know, hey, I'm there. Because when I started, I actually started focusing on just solo entrepreneurs. And now it's changed to who I focus on, doctors and lawyers. But I would love to know from you guys. And yes, community building, excellent. So now that we know that you know your stuff, and if you guys have questions, please don't hesitate. We are in quarter 4. We have Black Friday deals. It doesn't matter what country you're in, Black Friday is still a big deal. But there's also Small Business Saturday, there's Cyber Monday. There are so many opportunities. So, because you know social media really well, what are some things that we should keep in mind when we are promoting our product or offer during this fourth quarter?
Right. That's a very, very nice question. Um, like you said, first of all, as a social media manager, if we start from the part where you need to create the calendar, you also need to be flexible as to the changes that you need to make, right? Because in not every month you need to make changes according not only to the holidays but also to whatever is happening, in today's world. This in with the same frame of mind when Black Friday comes over, or whichever offer you want to make, you need to know how to approach it, be intentional. Me personally, what I always propose and suggest is be up to date, but be realistic as well. And what I mean by that is consider what your competition is doing. Okay, be up to date, do whatever you have to, but be realistic and never ever ever lose your voice because of it. Don't try to mimic, don't try to do what everyone's doing. Be your own self, your own brand. Be loyal to your honest to your own brand, sorry, and to your audience. Now, personally, I would try to take advantage of time and build with time, not last minute. Okay, and start building up to it so that my audience, in my email marketing, in my whatever attempt I use in order to prepare the people for what is coming, that they are aware that I am with them and that I will offer whatever they need and get the feedback of what it is from my products, from my services, from whatever it is I am offering, what it is that they are most in need of, and take that and build on it so that when time comes, Black Friday or whatever, I can present it in the way that they will actually listen, actually be interested in. Exclusive deals as well for your your people, your audience. Not only like when you have your community, make them feel special, give them unique discounts, something extra. Don't be, like I said before, don't be a reproduction of what everyone else is doing. Start differentiating yourself, but start talking to them and listening to them so that you know how, what path you're going to take and how you're going to present that discount.
All right, I have a question and I'm gonna put a pause because I want to get to the comments in the. We have Robert Berry who's saying speaking to people in their language is important. Bob Feathers is know your audience by knowing their needs. Don't talk about your products. Talk about how you solve your problems, which goes back to
Exactly.
what you were saying when you're talking to them, whether it's the DMs or in the comments. You're finding out, okay, they're looking for a solution. This is a new problem I never thought of. Let me start to see, let me put some content around it to see if this might speak to them. And that's when those offers start to come out. And then even a freebie. And then we
Mm-hmm.
have Bob Feathers, be intentional, be yourself, be up to date, be realistic. Exactly. These are the golden nuggets shared. But I did want to go back and say, okay, now that I understand how my individual person thinks, the community, what they're looking for, but I want to be part of the trend. And I want to use
Mm-hmm.
trending music and trending voiceovers and I want to do the dances, but
Mm-hmm.
how much of these trends should we really be putting in our content, especially around this time? Because I'm trying to be different. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to add this element of trending, but
Mm-hmm.
really, do I need to, or can I use a little bit of it?
Okay. I love these questions. This is the deal. Like I said before, also, uh, never lose your voice. So if it doesn't translate to your brand, if it really doesn't translate to your brand, the trends and the music and the dancing and whatever you just said, then it's a no. If it does translate, or you can find a unique way of using those trends, of using that music, of using the pointing or whatever, but in a way that actually translate in your voice, translates your brand to your audience and speaks to them and they relate to it. And it brings me back to what we spoke about before, is your audience is right there. They are your source. Ask them, see the reaction, ask them what they want, what they need, the solutions. Okay, perfect. Then start testing with your content, start bringing out certain types of content that you want to, certain types of trends, okay? And see, are they reacting well to it? Look at the engagement, look at the comments, look at what it's offering, the value. Do they find value in those things, and like when you're pointing here, or do they find value in carousels, or do they find value in reels that go deep into a specific problem that they might be having? um, it all depends on your audience.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna be the person that says, you know what, you don't know what you're talking about because trends are working for me. I have this large account because I was doing the trends. But what do we all know that happens if you're always doing trends? I'm gonna let Natasha answer that one.
Personally, again, depending on your brand, you might be bringing in the wrong people, which means that what is your purpose? Is your purpose to get clients? Is your purpose to get simply people to your account for a number? Or is it to convert them? Is it to actually give solutions and create a foundation for a community that will stay, that will be there, and that will continue to be there? Because it's very different just to be there and to continue to be there with you through the whole journey, because it's a back and forth, it's a give and take, because the value is on both sides. They ask, you provide, but they do give you their time, their money, their everything. Okay, everything that has to do with within the transactions and everything. But the community That's where the gold is. What they give you within the community is being your ambassadors, being the people that speak about your brand. The best marketing ever, basically, is people that actually speak about your brand. And when they become part of your community and stay in your community, they become from from clients or yeah, from clients to ambassadors. That's what I call them, ambassadors. So if you really want ambassadors, then you need to see who you're targeting. And if the people that you're bringing in through trends, just because you're there, yes, you need to be up to date. You need to have content that you will have content, sorry, uh, that will have a specific type of music or a specific type of pointing or whatever. But you need to find a balance, and you need to, the same way that we say, don't be just salesy. Don't just have content that sells. They need to see you. They need to see that side of you, that side of your brand that is relatable, that is for them, and that will keep them. So it's a balance. Again, it depends on who you want and what you want them to do, how you want to convert them, and how do you want to make them stay.
That's a good point, because we have a lot of people who are just posting content and they're like, well, I want to, I'm doing this because I just want the attention. We all want
Mhm.
attention. But I do have an example of something that may, and we can talk about a little bit, and that
Mhm.
is Taylor Swift is right now trending huge, right?
Yeah.
But you can look at that Taylor Swift story and how can you relate it to your industry? So, if you look at how a name can bring awareness to another brand. So she happens to
Mhm.
be supposedly seeing a gentleman who's playing for a particular American football team. Now the NFL is taking they were like, "Hey, I'm going to hop on the trend for Taylor Swift," and they put her as the mascot of NFL, and like it's just a trend. But you see how the NFL, she has nothing to do with sports. But they just took a little bit and said, "Hey, she's always at the game." Or
Mhm.
even now, we had Mark Cuban who was reaching out. He is the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He's like,
Mhm.
stop seeing that other player. I've got basketball players for you. Why is he saying that? Because he knows the power of the brand Taylor Swift. And the moment she steps into the arena, she's
Mhm.
going to bring in all of those fans who have a love for her. They don't really care about Dallas. They just want to be able to see her. So you see how you can look at this one story and look at it from different angles. Or maybe if you're in finance, you can look at how she's amassed nearly $740 million, breaking down those assets. Because what
Mhm.
happens is all of these platforms are looking for Taylor Swift and they're going to push you out to everybody. But look, that's just a trend for one moment, but you can use the story. Or we can even go to another example, which is the Maui wildfires. There was
Yeah.
one house that survived because they did something different. And just like your marketing, while everybody's doing the same, and it feels like you're just so different and nobody's paying attention. But guess what? Over time, you can stand out. I hope these were
Mhm.
good examples for you
No, they
guys.
were very good examples, and actually, I really like that you spoke about the Taylor Swift one, which basically in marketing, it's being studied like a lot right now. It's being talked about like a lot, but it's what you do with it, right? You jump on a trend, but what do you do with that trend in order to give out your message, put out your message, the right message at the right time in the right way and to the right people, right?
Mhm.
It's different things that you need to consider. It's not just jumping on it and that's it. It's okay if you're going to jump on it though. Remember that it's going to reflect on your brand, so you better do it in the right way with the right people at the right time, and with the right content, obviously.
Yeah, so, Robert saying he's very different. Yes, he is very different. And then, the fickle fans, they're here today. But it's that whole branding piece. She is a brand. She's a powerhouse brand. Everybody likes her. So, I want to know, what are the services you provide? Because, we could talk forever, but I definitely want to make sure, how can we connect with you? What are the services you provide? And where can we find you the most?
Ooh. Well, I basically am a social media strategist. Okay. So I provide help for coaches, entrepreneurs, and creators to build their brand online and grow their brand online. You can find me through my website, first of all, mplusg.com. And I'm mostly on Instagram, as you know, which is Natasha Social Media. And you can find me there and DM whatever question you have, and I'll gladly answer.
Now, one question I want to ask before we, hop over to another platform called Instagram, and that is launches. And I
Sorry,
have launches for offers, offers or products. And so I've noticed that what people are doing, and happens a lot. I'm not trying to call you out, but I'm just trying to help you out, because this is ridiculous. You put out the offer and then nobody signs up, and now it's a failure the next day. But we know it takes a little bit. So can you give us a little bit of tips, especially because this is the fourth quarter and they could be, we could test it out, these tips. What should we do when it comes to launching an offer or a product?
Well, obviously the strategy changes depending on the brand and the product and the service, but on a general spectrum, what you need to think of is, first of all, don't think that because it didn't work in that moment, okay, that it's not gonna work. It might need tweaking, but it doesn't mean that it's not gonna work. You need to be on top of it and make the changes accordingly. Now, it goes back also to what we said before. And who's going to give you that feedback? Your community. If they're looking for what you're giving, your offer, perfect. If they are looking for something different and you want to add it to the offer because this other service that you have, you want to push it, bundle it. Do something of that type in order to be able to build on it, right? If you want to test a new service, a new offer, how about giving what I call a teaser to your existing community on your email list, for example, and give them like, if you have a book, that's what I have in mind right now. Like if you're coming out with a course, give them like the first chapter. Try to build them up towards the final product, towards to see the feedback, to get the feedback. Obviously, like I said before, you give and you take. Like you're getting the feedback, but you need to give the value, right? And something that I really believe in is that it's not a reflection. Again, if something doesn't go well, or if you think that the pricing or something needs to change, it's not a reflection on you. It's a reflection on what you need to tweak, not change backwards, tweak, make better additions, not taking out parts of the value that you offer, for example, which unfortunately many people do, because when they get the feedback and they go like, oh, okay, maybe you need to reconsider the pricing, or they don't think of adding, they think of taking out, and that's the wrong way to apply. What you need to do is bundle. What you need to do is offer the value, readjust whatever needs to be tweaked, whatever, and go to the source. Let your community feel that you understand them, that they are special by giving them exclusivity. For example, that chapter that I said before is just an example, right? And get the word out. One other thing is um, that many people do is bring out the product that you have. At least that's the mentality in software, for example. You bring the product that you have and you build on it. You keep fixing it. You keep listening to the feedback, and you keep fixing it and fixing it and fixing it till you get it to another level. And then you come out with a second revision and the third revision and, updates and whatever. That is the idea that I have also in offers, that I always apply in offers or in services, which is put it out there, based on the feedback that you get from your audience, and build on it. It's not the end. What you brought out is not the final thing. You can tweak, you can offer, you can change, you can improve.
I would also add to it, sometimes price may be a problem. Okay, we can fix that. Maybe there is something you could take it out. But I would say give it time. What I'm seeing is a lot of coaches, entrepreneurs putting out these offers for one day. Hello? People don't see
No,
things in one day.
no,
If
no, no.
anything, if you did the build up, then now they kind of know something is coming and then you promote it. I'm just going to say for real, like all of you out here who think that you have 200 comments every day, they are not necessarily your ideal client. You need to give your offer a chance. This is why they say if you give, the more runway you have, the better chance you have of getting sales. I have done enough offers that I can get a sale and I can sell my offer, but sometimes it doesn't happen in the time frame that I would like it. I've had offers where I ran it for 30 days and I got one offer. I ran another offer. I didn't get it in that month. I actually got it in the first week of June. I got a sale. So for all of you who are running offers, like really start that build up before, and then you
Exactly.
have the offer, give it time. Also consider going live on LinkedIn, Instagram,
Yes.
Facebook. You can even go live Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter. There are ways. You really got to get out there because it takes a person, and I mean, Natasha's probably heard a different number, but it's almost like basically 7 or more times they have to see this offer before a decision is made.
It's definitely, and you shouldn't feel bad for selling. Like, you shouldn't feel bad for talking about your offer. You shouldn't feel bad for saying, you know what, I have this product and this product, this service and this service, whatever it is, and sell it, right? And push it out there. It's not a bad thing. We have like kind of uh, sorry, messed up the meaning and the value in it, right? Because of different reasons. Okay, whatever. But the point is that you need to work at it. When you monitor every single move you do online, and you read your analytics and you read your insights, you don't read them like 2 days afterwards, after bringing out, for example, your last post. No,
Yeah.
you let it build up. You let it see. You check out what's happening. Well, you do the same thing with your posts about your about your discount, about your offer. Sorry, and once you bring it out, you keep going and you keep testing and check and monitoring all those tests. Where is it going? Is it working? You never know. First of all, did you bring it out at the right time?
Right.
To the right people, meaning the locations, whatever it is. Are you targeting? Is something going on out there that might be influencing today, okay, the activity, for example, online, and maybe that's why it didn't work? You
Or did
never
you
know.
draw a funnel? Like, everybody knows a workshop or webinar, what all. There are all ways that it sells. Okay, we need to get that out of our mind. Okay, we understand. But you know what? I like those webinars. I like those workshops. because now I can see how this person is. I can ask them questions. It's the same thing
Mhm.
like this live. If you go live, when you talk about your offer, it allows the person who's thinking about it. I'm going to give an example of a creator. Some of you know who she is. Her name is Laura Acosta. And so prior to her launch, she had it in her banner, she had it in her content. She said, get on her newsletter. When she was talking about in her newsletter, she talked about her journey. And then when she came out with the offer, then she went live too. She
Mm.
was asking. And so I recently read her newsletter where it's talked about how she had a success. But this girl was doing it for like about 2 months. So
Mhm.
imagine that she is a creator here on LinkedIn. She has over 80,000 followers, and she understood this is the work you have to put in. Tony Robbins, guess what, guys? He pays for ads. He's on multiple platforms
Mhm.
because even he has to sell just like all of us. Yet we aren't talking about Tony Robbins like that. You're not talking about Laura Costa like that. You get mad when you see creators who are lower in number of followers because it's like it seems like they're only talking about their offer. Well, during launch time, yes. But after that, you should be talking about what you do at least once a week, how people can work with you. It's not every piece of content. Come
But
on.
see, what I would like to add, because it's a great point that you're making, what I would like to add to that is, then they are not your audience. They are not the people that you should be targeting. So you're doing yourself a favor at the end of the day. And what do I mean by that? Is I believe a lot in the interaction. Okay, and lives are a great way to do that. And when people start asking about your product, the one that you're talking about in your life, you get the chance to put a voice to it, to put a picture, a visual in their head, okay, and to make them feel the importance of the solution that you're giving them, because you're going to make them, they see you. Nothing like seeing the other person like face to face, right? And people are understanding that. That's why their video is like up here and lives are up here, and everything that's in any case visual in an interactive way, sorry, is like top. But like I said before, we've kind of changed the meaning and the importance of, yeah, sell. That is the purpose here. Be truthful, be open, be authentic, everything that we always talk about. But at the end of the day, we're here for a purpose. I have a solution for you, and you have a need. Let's see, let's see if it works, if it's a match, if my product is for you, and how I can adapt it or fix or whatever to cover, okay, cover the, as a product, the needs and pain points of the most amount of people that you can.
Right,
Okay.
right. Like we're just trying to help you guys out. Don't get stuck in the small. You're bigger than that. But guess what? We're going to end this conversation and we're going to go to Instagram. We're asking you to come and join us. I want to say
Yes.
thank you to all of you who joined in the comments or on this live. And even if you're catching the replay, let us know if there's any questions. I'll make sure Natasha comes back and answers all of you. And also make sure connect with her. I dropped her links in the comments. And also here's her website at N plus G. Again, I'm going to say it. If you want to connect with Natasha, you can connect with her on Instagram, Facebook, her website, N plus G. She's here on LinkedIn. Trust me, I'm trying to get her over here. But I just want to say thank you. And until the next live, which is next week, Thursday, with another wonderful guest, have a wonderful weekend and day. And thank you so much, Natasha, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank
All
you.
right. Bye, everybody.